Street Fighter, Virtua Fighter, Mortal Kombat. These are names that people all know and love. And fighting games have really come out into their own since they first appeared on the scene kind of back in 1991 with Street Fighter 2. But what about early fighting games? What were they like? Well, I got a game for you. It came out 2 years after Street Fighter 2. It's got great gameplay, and it's pretty much the only Famicom fighting game of its kind.
And the best thing is...
Alright, I know a lot of you have already started looking on Wikipedia to try and find fighting games for the Famicom. Well, what I'm talking about is a fighting game that replicates what Street Fighter gave you. A game that gives fluid motion and many different fighting moves for each character. And Joy Mech Fight fits the bill. The story is about two robot creators. One obviously turns bad and steals the other robots. The only one left is blah blah blah. Whatever. All you need to know is that with 36 unlockable characters, Joy Mech Fight is really the epitome of all Famicom fighting games. So let's jump right to it and ask the expert about the controls.
Each fighter has the same basic controls, but they all have different moves. The controls are extremely similar to Street Fighter 2. To move left and right, press left and right. To jump, press up. You can also jump at different angles. Pressing down puts the character into a defending crouch. The B button is your kick, while the A button is the punch. Now, those are the basic moves. Every character has their own special moves also. It's just a combination of a direction and a few button presses.
But when it comes to special moves, try everything. Up and punch, back and kick, up and kick. There's so many combinations, and each character has an astounding 4 special moves each. Some of the characters even have charge moves.
And even though it may seem like a long time unlocking everything, the game has a battery save, so you don't have to unlock something and then work for it again.
Once you push start, you go into the menu. The very top selection is the main storyline, with the normal mode, the hard mode, and the special mode right below each other. Underneath that is the 1-player versus computer, the 1-player versus 2-player, and then the computer versus computer. Sometimes it's interesting to see what strategy the computer uses against itself, and sometimes it's just fun to watch.
But you know, it's all fun and games until someone gets an eye poked out.
And there are some bits that poked me in the eye.
That was terrible.
I know. It's kind of hard to get used to the characters and their limbless selves. The action is so fast-paced that it can be difficult to know what part is your mech's foot and what part is your opponent's hand.
There's so much about the game that's great, but it's a little hard to get into for the fighting game fans, and at the later stages of the game, the difficulty is really prohibitive.
Also, and this is a technical thing, but some of the unlockable characters are just palette swaps of some of the earlier characters, and they don't have a great deal of difference. It's nice to have 36 characters, but to have fewer characters with no palette swaps would have been much better, I think. So, to wrap things up, fighting game enthusiasts and collectors alike will enjoy this game more than most.
This game is much like other fighting games. It starts off easy and works its way up the ladder.
The graphics are really good. The simplistic character design really works in this game, but it may be hard to keep track of which pixels are whose.
Next to no Japanese. Very easy to pick up and play.
With 2 buttons and a slew of Street Fighter-ish moves, it's fairly easy to pull moves off.
This is up in the air whether or not you like fighting games or not.
This game actually won't set you back that much. It's kind of hard to locate sometimes, but is always less than you may think. This is a great game, and it's really easy to play right out of the box, and it really pushes the Famicom to its limits.
This is a really good fighting game. It's the only one like it for the Famicom that really captures the arcade spirit. I really recommend it.
So thanks for watching, and be sure to leave written or video comments about what you thought of this episode, or about other games you might like to see me play in the future.